Yeah, got it.
Okay. Okay, and then I will share. Go. Okay.
Waciwaci meu socota mola vai em uile de tu que mui rai rai na tanranga au rai ko tu ola kemba que muindina no kunisera ola kemba tiri toka ana ya tula Tubou e senha libeau e munre mai na rangi ni tokalau na puso ni biau e kale beau na yanu yanu na ya tulau
E marau kolau. Isa o Lakeba, na banua Makau, na i tobo e taua elirawa, na vendokai na ngumatua, na ilumuti i nogu banua. Asa alewawa tina bosina sana pakatura ngolau, me daka e Lakeba na bosina sana na meni tina diu sanga bulu. Me vindono i tina kena pakanunumi, na i kapitu sanga bulu non rembakini bulan, na ngone tura kampai na tuineao. Na sauni puno kolau, ka tui lau, o ratu sa kami sese, kapo wai, tui madilai mara. E dhoko in rauna ka uku dhavu kolau, e na kena pangarutai ka kusati, na songo langi langi. E sina iku Tubou vira na lapani, mai na vitikina. Ni umani patatiku na songo ni marau na bosini sana, bosini lotu, bosini songo ni marama, bosini tambawane kalakitinia na karapatin marau, na matakan ni pukaroa na kitini karoa ni me.
Isa, nimbola binaka na viokani o ni sema tiku mai na mbogi binaka ni kua sa o chichungon na walu na tini ka walu na miniti na kavi ni singa wakarombuka na ika tini ka walu ni singa ni bula o Februari sa na kena yada baka vi toke na bula isehu ia da marutaka ni inda marutaka tiko na bula ke ilau na bula binaka ongondo. Bakong bula sa kaya ni ni kede na sema tiko mai na vesei viti, vesei wura-wura na tiki na ngonongo tor na ngonongo mo baka tulo tiko na bendial ni abu tambu kedi sara na tin kawana no de sana mai viti ni taka ni rong binaka tiko yani na biau liba ni Talanoa with Dr. T na kabi binaka ni singa baka rombuka ni kondo tala madha binaka bunga bike mnio ni sa baka na matatu na tua tala na moni madha moni baka dengu ni solena no moni ngauna ke bera na no moni matabu vale baka usibe bera na ngone na nonra sa te kubutal chunga kana nonra buli na ngone binaka ni kua ia kani marau ni sara misuri tiko na bewa kani mai na sara bakaturango lau loma ni bulongo ngante boli kina na bewa no kere sara sa vida na tikina na sala ko tiko ni tin katol tiko na tikina na sara bakaturango lau ia kuni lenga sa botal chunga rutal na madawa ni nonta ngante ia ni kua na ngante tale kina yanu bakaturango Lakeba ia na kabini kua na ka matali ya na nongo vital nongo liu do vital nonga kena donga na nongo bulangi ia ni kua saru do tal na kaya do ru nongo bulangi royando na mona libu yang goro sana no morau me sandonga na nonro mona libu me rau sema mai na nonta vital no ni konta va bini bina kasara ni rau suletu no nonro ngau na rau turanga maramoso so rua bunga bike mnio ni kele rau binaka ia kani marau ni roba kayo taka na nito ker mol malumu baka bimbi na baka binaka vejina kasema sarchungo mai China ni hauma jina balau ni lotu binaka baka lebu na bisi matitiko ia na ngonongo sana baka mbula sara vero na nando bulangi tiko sarangango na kenda maliwa o Watesoni Nata Junior ke ana Tuiketei-Bolabiu nrombula binaka na wekang
Bula manombula Dr. T.
Bula Dr. T.
Sa nrombula binaka chini kua
Iya.
Sa bata betulan raki mai na korturanga.
Meron raki na to kasi itong mga menuda na kami ko. Iyo ay viro na to na singa ko.
Oh, totoka. Ta rere bina ko biao na itamba to kan ta kumunra o klani andron kay wase mai na itamba to kan na itamba ni namun romo na liba rere totoka na kanamba rabi liu bina ko to kan kana be buniniu bakatal nga kinen do na pachi kele to kaya totoka baka wote baka bulu serang baka nanan na nonta sarabati ko na namun ro itamba totoka baka wote bina baka liu tau manda roba kan bula manda beira na namun ro ito kan ke rebio kan rasya mati ko meni kuwa roba kan bula manda nga beira ke rawa baka bula manda nga ana sangay ngol bi Watesoni
Iya, bula binaka Dr. T, bula binaka na barong chine bugni kuwa, bula re, bula sia, dola bina, faexia, yadang chingo ana, marami Tubou, Lakeba mai lau, mitu tiko mai Tubou nambao, na wale ne Willisoni Tuiketei, au basui arubundi lebu kau balau. Nito tiko mai arubundi buni kura na bali mari kambakan
sa totoko baka wote bina baka lebu yana
tokan ni menagay pamagalte ko talanga
don maya Watesoni
Manombula Dr. T. Waka kino wiki mania sar chuk mana live stream na kamera ko. Tahu mana na waka binu na kaliu na kia nambao na numa tu mbao ntong ko itabi na kamera ko Ragu ko Watesoni Nata Junior the butu mana kori wadi cikina ko Lakeba ne sana waktu rangu ko lawe awabasu chuki nada maki koro I loma viti yang ano nogo tuk walay from where I'm coming from ano isa Dr. T ausana kerbe bosochi chiko muna nogo ba madala no bogni ko na bibi slightly English Fijian Laon bound and give mix taki chuka no ba madala na bikin midi na sar chuko mana bogni ko ausa kerbe bosochi rajin ko
Kuni lenga ken balbal na robo sa na bakalau bakalo may bit siapa tau
bakalau bakambau bapet agnia
totoka bahawai Malo. Sabi na bali besar bikin rona biokan na roba kembula lele besar na biokan ni rasya macam ni kuah nimbula binaka bikin di keda na biokan ni ngole mai mo ni mironga tu matanga non robi Talanoa na biokan ni rosureti mai na singa binaka ni kuah. Binaka bakal besar ya mitik butak nga na non tobi Talanoa nembaleta nga na nomro tumbo ta kemai na nomro susu ta kemai na nomro sengone Ronin roti ko bula talang may nanomroy Talanoa may nangunaya may to may nangunong ko.
Ito naman ito mo sa atin. Okay, tiyo yung kasi taon doon ko matumbale. Endo tadingu ya lewa. Ngoni beyaw, ro talang na tadingu tangani. Ito tamay kito azak tu na FSC na kambani ni Ngangisuka. O tinangu maramabuni wai kito wito kia kito primary school maimba St. Thomas ucha kito toki lo toka na ilo toko chia kito toki sari lambasa yo ngele yo primary school maimba ilo toka ucha ulak sari anji za kombao o chia usale buli sari university ni walako aule study taki aule buli tu Vanuatu. Iyo, hoje mai Vanuatu lesu sar mai biti au tegu sar na private sector. Hoje au le toko na sar na governo ni takavaka na tambani ni ndau bembeta aqui, ni matenitu na DPP's office Taratu na matangali kisi na kisi bakana lamba na kita, lamba sengani na kita, na kuzu, na wevangaseni, para defilement o tia na dão butako na bem matangali kisi o tia sale join taxar na private sector gerona bak saúde com que lá fora baleta não buta ka tangana também do bem beta aqui matenitu que não buta ka balawa au sa rotelena ni takaki na mai bana matavele wai ki bura kwa na ICC
Santina kembal-bala no mula ko le bula USP o buli na Tambanilaw
Iyo. Au bula Tambanilaw nakaftan ko nung post grad. O Watesoni talanga buli law talanga yo taraw ko endo tanin na ngunisala ni kaya kabuchikuan ni kuwa. Giba mabalayan.
Toto, may Watesoni.
Sa naman na mamalaki
Dono.
A bit of mixture of both. I was sort of my nanny. My parents were still together then, but they divorced when I was still a young child. So my dad had brought us up. In Nandi, or Buli Mayo Tikabunga Nanungu kindergarten, my Nandi airport kindergarten. Sange. Okay, there. Then after Nandi Airport Kindergarten, Sange Nandi Airport Primary School, my father was working as an air traffic controller. He works in and worked in the aviation industry for quite a while. So Kito was a Sungitungamai Kef compound. I was born and raised there, Nandi Hospital. Samani Primary School, Ochi, in Nandi Airport School, Sari High School, Sari. Nung korbuli kainje Nandi Shirvi Vivekananda High School. I was Form 5 nga kina sa Form 6, Form 7. I was Tuiketei New Zealand. I was Bulma New Zealand. I attended Sacred Heart College in Auckland in New Zealand. And then after high school, I was Talamavici. I was on my Vaka. I just had a few odd jobs here, working here and there. Then I started Osali Bulilaw bakay Ana. Yo Ana Libulilaw ay Vanuatu USP, our Bulilaw ngay University of Fiji. We were the pioneering lot there. When we started at University of Fiji, there were about 90 students that started off in law school. But when we graduated, there was only 12 of us at the first year. So the pioneering lot from University of Fiji. Sanguching Dr. T, I was Ali Lakasarana. I've worked in a few law firms, and then I was sagili Lakasarana Consumer Council of Fiji. Only mananjita kanono to tambanan ni complaints in the Consumer Council of Fiji. Nangonang ako chikilekya. some our sali the capital and nongo accreditation, accreditation the mediation. So when I studied law, I didn't want to go to court. I wanted to resolve disputes through mediation, for us to just have a meeting with both parties, and then we can try and come to a resolution. We may both sides agree, and then we try and get to a solution between both of the parties. So I had that accreditation from the Singapore Mediation Center, accreditation, and it's an internationally renowned accreditation in mediation. And when I had done that accreditation, I think it was one of the youngest that got the accreditation. I was about Consumer Council. I think it's been about 5 or 6 years there. And then I had jumped to the Ministry of Employment. I was mediate the Ministry of Employment, Tambani Labor. So my job as a mediator was to try and resolve all the employment grievances on the Wakoyani. Employment grievances on the Wakoyani with the Ministry of Labor. On those mediate then we try and get the parties to find a solution that's favorable to them. Both the employee and the employer will sit in one room with me, and then we'll try and discuss the issues to try and resolve the matter through mediation. So I was a mediator at the Ministry of Employment. Watching I am at the Ministry of Employment, I was online the Fiji Judiciary, and I was based at the Employment Tribunal. I was like a magistrate there as a tribunal member. Wow. So I jumped from mediating to adjudicating. So it was like a little mini magistrate that adjudicated cases of employment matters. But the reason why I took that job at Ministry of Employment as a tribunal member, because it allowed me to mediate cases as well. They amended the law to allow that position to mediate cases at the tribunal level. So my passion really in the legal field is mediation and not really adjudication, not going to court to try and get the magistrate or the judge to resolve the case. But with mediation, law, both of the parties, mediator, my job as the mediator is not to make the decision. The aggrieved parties, employee, listen to their stories, and then try and we're moving around to try and get them to get to a solution that's favorable to them. Watching a tribunal, I was on a tribunal, I think 2 years ago, 2019 back up. I was it had already started in 2018, and my sister had started the business 2018. We had imported some containers from Australia, New Zealand. I didn't have a shop, so in our garage downstairs, we only sold to close family and friends. About 2 months, 3 months after that, we saved up enough money. Then my sister managed to find a shop space. So we started. We moved into our shop space in Loloma Beach, just around the corner from where we live. And that was our first shop space. 2000 by the end September we were selling at home, and by now December we were selling at our first shop space. The name of Navani Nongusto Navana Merch, MERCH. We have a Facebook page. For those of us that are not familiar, you can search our Facebook page, the merch. We're a household goods store, secondhand. We sell the homeware products, power tools, kitchen appliances, a bit of hardware, electronics. A lot of household items that we bring in from New Zealand and Australia. So 2018, 2019, I was still in my full-time employment. Then I started the business was going too big, too quick. So I had to make a decision whether I wanted to continue with my full-time job or go and jump into my business. So I took that huge leap of faith and then just jumped and started my own business and carried on my business from 2019. Sa 2021 sa COVID mai 2020 actually 2020 first wave of COVID, 2021 second wave, 2022 third wave. So my business is only 3 years old. And then unfortunately, we got struck with COVID. I think is one of the biggest, most, I think, biggest economic crisis I think the world over. Is seen in quite a while. So, but we've managed to survive by the grace of God. But so I'm currently at the moment, Dr. T. I am managing my business. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. And I do my mediations on the side because I still like resolving disputes through the Fiji Mediation Center. So Talanoa was sort of sad because I'm explaining in Fijian and in English. Yes, nanunggu Talanoa Dr. T. We'll switch over to.
Wah, totoo ka ko. Tiko minumuni bola. Watesoni.
Chegou Walu Bay.
Kita sa Tuki mai Lavala Beach, kita sa Chingo dono nito warehouse.
Wow, reda. Que balbal era bia volleyball era kwa ni Walu Bay.
Walu Bay. The only last street Walu Bay, but all our information is on our Facebook page.
Oh,
interview ko sa Walu taktal siya no aya.
Totoo ka saranga. O Gina, sambi tamay na link ni Facebook. Totoo ka ba ka wati, right? Wekem ni na bia volleyball na volleyball na yaya ni Vale, yaya liba na bia kakeden ko ni ngole and no na business dorbo ito okay. Dorbo ni Lakeba, may wadi and the merch. The merch tokakina na Walu Bay. Na sito ni volleyball tag dare tango doni bare tag da boli de ni kwa redero na da bola ni kwa ero da kalawa rorua e tiko tale so tal na karu da kabutiko and non rombula me kan tuko na maya o Watesoni on the side doing all this work on the side right ken ban bale tiko ndo na zakazaka en garab bakatamba kindua e tiko tale so tale bale silini e bale tiko se bakadab.
Iyo, lá o que tá caindo lá, mas do fica tu, então cara o tu, mas do cara me fala chico selini, não chico selini me coaching mai, então me vakini kete chico.
Totoo ka sarangan, di na sarangan mo sa ditwa, di na sarangan. Dari kina na weekend na okay mo si weekend na weekend may law. Dari ni siya weekend na sukay muri, na ndongole main do sa may tubitilewu do sa sanga sar na kene bata ngene sa redaki kwa umarotak sar ken vale na nomro ba kumbula ni po nomro Talanoa na buli ken nomro sa sanga ya lataro betaro na taro ilubay ana ang ngelestela ni Watesoni membaleta na nomro jinita kana lawa dan ro jinita da lebu ni lesson etu monro daka fika se daka pai monro lipai lati se bunuai se nasi se dabanga Roji kita kenal na dabe yung kiti ko ana mo ngole mo baka murian na ngoni sala ni takalaw.
Oyo abia bunyuai baka inonguna. Nonguna ambek baka ge reina ni kokombe kana nongto ba mazala sama ni baung kiti au ba kokoa ba besumona te kiu talenga mo tarada kana lawai. Oche uli buli lawa sara ula sari Vanuatu, graduate Vanuatu, autor do bikiao che uli stale mai. Au sangerida chico na bima tangali takazaka u zakava sena bima no kedanga da reiki ne buro i biti mantanga ka kedanga na lawa tabu na zakava ngora na zakava ya so nano ocha sange babu na ngana nungu talita ka se ba ungeti au mo zakava na bima tangali specialization sena kani lawa so ya na ka zakava ngono kwa na ka tu no chico o Watesoni o kwena area ni lawa da la kukina mediation kasa le acredita kitukina tuna na leseni ni vitabi na mengarab na tikini tambani lawa ya so ya una criminal law ko tuna chingono la fario na matabile waiki burubura na ICC which au ta kapta chingono na kalingito na sports law usale da kabikina ngosa la sarvana court of arbitration ni Switzerland di Lucerne so lebu na lawa kila rara na kena mona taki kena ba madala taki Yo nakakirang da bukikina na kila na lawa chuko na numundraiba na nonda to biba sa chuko na ngango chuko na nonda buki na internet. So lebu tal na kaso yo tali tak serangan na lawa ogi baru tak talanga boleh tanggo na kangau binakata. So rata mani da kan bisnis yo Watesoni mentang na kam chuko na bisnis ko ikla chuko na lawa ni laiseni na lawa ni leisoni na tax na clearance na customs na wharf na boleh aya mai so na wako ya so no que dengan reiki na chico nga na lawa kina fita
Tila saranga kadira todo ko roya rola ko bata chik
o cha na kawang gityo saranga mo ko nga ni tara but mo rani ba mazalo rani vital no tatungai ang do talitak Talanoa na do banganga ka na research sena na vital no pakalim na kabobo sena kasinterniavo na mungkin talanga na development sena do na bibu kini batang ni bononi takavaka sena nonta ponua na makaundo talitak Watesoni
Itu tengah peti ini kira ngone ngusu le bururua o ana talando bugngando we ba mai kla we've got that kind of
like bentai to and fro
right.
well that thing for me studying law was a bit of a mixed decision for me, but I'm very intuitive. I wanted to study law for lots of reasons. At the time my father was going through a bit of circumstances with the law at the time, and I didn't understand what was going on. And that was one of the motivating factors to study law at the time as well. But apart from that, there's a lot of people that think that you only study law to go to court. I want to say that that's a complete misunderstanding, and that's a complete myth. You can use your law degree to do lots of other things. And law, like what Anna and I were just saying, law is good to go with something else. Like for me, I've decided to pursue mediation, and I've decided to utilize my law degree to go into business. And the advantage of that, because I understand all the forms of compliance. So there's taxation, there's FNPF, there's all sorts of other issues that we can deal with that comes under the law. Local government, Ministry of Trade, whenever they bring out a policy for consultation, and then we can put in our feedback for that as well. So I think just that the misunderstanding that people think that you can study law is just all about going to court. No, it isn't. I want to encourage people that you can study law, and then you can study a double degree or triple degree to enhance your learning and utilize your law degree to understand the law behind those areas. So if you're an environmentalist, study law, because you can study environmental law and understand all the laws and the issues and the surrounding compliance issues around that area. It strengthens it. But I one of the things that I'm grateful for in studying law is it's a very empowering study, an area to study. And once you graduate and you finish, you feel very empowered because you understand the law, and not a lot of people understand what the law is. And it's a very privileged position, because a lot of people will come to you for your help. And it is our responsibility and our duty to serve the people and help them understand. And it's all those social aspects in helping people and helping other people understand the law is what really motivated me to go and study law. But I never wanted to go to court, because I understood from the get-go that law was not only meant for court, it was meant for other areas that you can enhance.
Totoo kasarangan dorakanda bulita na lawe lebu tu na kanang basongan may pakamangaya wala kung kuha na kani mediation o ana baka tukun chukmea wala ko na sports law sa chukun na criminal law na kanabi matanggalita letu totoo ko baka utin ninda reda ni lebu tal na kao ni roni takabe na namuni kuroya
totoo arbitration totaleado na polisale kya binibinwan
andina Sabi na kaya ono be suka talba le muri we redita la no ngono ro si ngono le bikina ando susumay ba melo to ko kan ro la ko tamen nasa sa bakara do la kambe ka bina ka tip menas sa bakara totok makote yun no mo tumbo ta kachuk no mo buli nanti pot school no mo buli may St. Thomas chuko so nakabaka turma na Willy Wall en kwento na kanro do talita kan ngono ro se ngone lalaikin do ni mena primary school mo ro ngole secondary
Io do talita na Willy Wall tinangu tamangu do volleyball mai o kilangi nunguna nona taltunga na adolescent health pana department ya so do leguna pamphlets leguna kando wako tamayo ko ibale yo talengan do talita ko yo na wili ka na kaki dengan orang tara yo ngona ya seng tukina na YouTube na internet mentan to le sar kila menta sara na kena ba masalah ta kana kai bola itu se auto wili na tana bola tabo do reda tu kla na tamba se na ka chon do wili ka chiku na be bakatu na Talanoa so ia kimindi na ya ba na talangana nongu do via taro nong do via kilakai monge reda talanga so na voso sembertu ni kila so na spelling beka ni vosa so we increase taksara nongu curiosity ko Watesoni totalita na bola se
pakai
quando kita apa na mama Dr. T
Ona pakai buku, mau sih di buku bisa pakai ya o materi untuk beli ya absolutely don't like fictional novels and Mills and Boons. My sister used to read a lot of Mills and Boons and all of those love story books. And the things I always read now, talita kana wili newspaper, no current affairs, and it has to, if it's a novel, it has to be a true story or like an autobiography, someone's life story. But apart from that, usually the encyclopedia, because we didn't have Google, we had you remember the library, the whole set of encyclopedia from 1 to 100 and you have to read it? But apart from that, not really, not a lot of fiction novels. I think it's like love stories, no. But mostly.
What's the comic?
Yeah, how many I seen comic? I didn't really like comics, so it was true story. You saw no one Phantom, but apart from that, sense. Onto true story, guys. Kisang sa encyclopedia, kisang sa Willy newspaper. Because that's all you see when you watch your grandfather and your father Willy newspaper mataglay doesn't mean guys.
Sa murmure talanga itu kun cukup bingo orang na beauty ni may nayaw o pau bola o nito Willy talbang na talo ni karate.
Yeah, reda tukun berapa tukun main kanji na tukun kamu ko.
Oh yeah, karate lessons when I was in primary school. I went up to the yellow belt level. That's one level way before black belt.
One belt is from black belt.
From black belt, yellow belt. And I just, I think I went into high school after that. I lost interest in karate. Jangan disabihin kasi.
Sa din re itu so nanonood di talent di ba ya totoo ba ko na musik tumbo ta kaya ondo talita na current affairs na newspaper na Talanoa din autobiography totoo ba ko dagere dia nakalalay nando na kabutunin sa nangon na buke na non ding nang ngona sa na le dorobo sa ngone leukin sa mara
it's all about decisions,
Yes.
I for one, I believe that life is all about choices, and you have, you know, God gives you the choices, and it's well within your hands to say yes and say no. At the end of the day, the choice lies with you, and it's up to you whether you want to make the good choice or you want to take a long road or you want to take the short road.
Yeah,
but you're right. In Dr. T, but the influences from when we're young, and the choices.
Din saranga. Pada manda nandi korni bulin round buli mekin ana un musangali buli yang tata kumbau be Watesoni no mo buli may nandi na slibi be kananda. Embo chuko do nangas ni buli bakai ondo reda dake se abuke ki munrau na nomro sangai relesu na nomro dingin ni nomro dita kadake na tambanan ro chikina.
Oh, yeah, I had lovely English teachers. Doon maraming India, Dr. Mrs. Verma, kung doon nito best qualified. But she taught the English language like she was very passionate. And doon talaga na maraming Vici or Mrs. Banner. She's passed away. She was an English teacher also, Mrs. Ratungole. I always remember my English teachers because they always taught with a lot of passion. From 3, from 4, from 5, Mrs. Ratungole or Mrs. Banner and Mrs. Verma. But at the time, I didn't think I was going to study law. I did have, a faint idea that I wanted to study law because of my mouth, and I was rather argumentative, and I've always had an answer to everything I was told. And I just like to question a lot of things. So those were the characteristics I was told that would make a good lawyer. And then, those are little things that shaped your decisions along the way. But they were very good influences, my 3 English teachers.
Sa totoka. Bakang pula sarcho na po pala ni Mrs. Verma, Mrs. Bena kay Mrs. Ratungole, tagarid kina na bibini na kadaka na wala nang kasnivulye. Niyo kaya dali na tumbuta kay we spend more time at school than at home. Kaya kandarida. Kimbalambale, there will be a lot of influences too from the teachers who will guide us na bataw na kautalita kanila istorya do marutak mo bulida. Ana?
Eu no primary school to St. Thomas o Mr. Tambua. O Mr. Tambua ngo baka sa mata binak saranga na exercise no suliriki mami na games do bito bang na picture games do bito bang na itamba o che me ki mami ge reida tu na taba ki mami rani bola wana taba ki mami reida ki na ya o che me ge ndo na elimination so na group ko levo to ndo na voce rentarama i wana itamba ya na group na ganga. So I really enjoyed that. Like Clyde made you like sabi nakatasaranga mo kilaki na. So vibukia mo analyze ba pinaka mundo observant. So from primary school, Clyde he gave me that quality. Cheo Laksari ACS or Mrs. Prasad so tabi ko a couple of years back. Kiro bima rautaki. Nungu ngasnibuli ni English. Do vamos a how to be proper kena kakede kila nda bulitu na high school kenda na numasarangan da sangonele da kila keda na kakede. So I used to take it for granted. Wacha nung sangi te ko za kalao ke sangi bola sangi do baka samta tu na kando tu na tu bikiman. Among guise ke o barram ku na mona ya o sa professional tumbo. Wacha o Mr. Balain Roka pela nito economics teacher. Queste gatti come che lo sa che lo bisa non una vedremo back sauti questa garabuci con rugby league per una high school student so quando va relaxar tunga like he just che la poi batabilità for me to just take it easy and to be calm o poi va kai sin those stress tu na buki so so those type of qualities and then all the teachers were given a personality go sa tiko ya undona bononi value taki o sa rentaraki de non personality mungi buke yao mura ni buke so na tamata se mo understanding or to give empathy ke pachi non relenga
sa rele dora pointi bina kaya na ngas ni bulye ni siang wala nga ni rabata bulida na lesoni chuko talanga na kainda di kebir na non bula se bada
eu do talaga nungas ni bulyo mis na yulia ko na ya vendo taleta ki kwent do reda na fashion to vai sulu do rebi na katungando mata se round do lipstick vai ki na high school not allowed lipstick tambo i sawan so kito do vari do no sulu so through her also gave a kau taleta ka na fashion ngi reda o do tani bon do tania so so rangas ni bulyo rando bartak talanga weekenda so ne tiki non rompula na yanga weekenda na non bula mai mur
sa totoo ba ko tisa bikam ni nagas ni buli barong chuko mai ni kuwa dare na goro non bula ni ko Watesoni watakay ana ero no malesu na nomunindo bin karabi na bi kornibuli ndare go o ane na numalis na noni sul-sulo mis na imuliw mis tambalen rock and rock na nonambula siya nindo bakay liw na ngona me bakay me lamodo tukina reda ken balambali o kimamnangas ni buli na kakimamna barita kana lamu di buli o kemni nangone ni bakatal tu na tabi ka daro di ka ni na buku tali chuko kemni nangone ni bandindike ni bakandike bak malua na lipstick na noni sulu na noni buki-buki ken balambali biken na kimamnangas ni buli biken sangga garon terna na kakim barita kana lamu di buli binak balib sara na ana bat ke Watesoni na nomro wasia mai na nomro ndu ingas di buli o ana master tambua o Mrs. Prasad o Mr. Balen roko bat ke Miss na ngule wis berto ka dan tui mata bu bale rasya mu cukup kuwa ngol cukan kono bakam bule be kem ni kan sar en bimbi ni non raben rabi na gas ni buli en lo ni bali buli re non ra buli maya ber na gas ni buli ngoro sa tabi tungo ero na biwe kan ngo mela kemba ero sa lagi bakuroi mai en tambal ni lawa siang wala nga ni ro yan rangamen do na mata karo sanji kita kana leso ni ro takap la ko mati chukumen na kakede ro buli mekina ibale korni buli kena be kakede me ro ding kina totoko bakot
ila Dr. T Dr. Lakai salongonai rangas ni buli sini bakasam tak talengai that they are actually mentors ber nangone lalai ila kibem sa genga si mengo kibem sa vakavaka sa vakando bau git takibikima mi bangara mentor ila ang total tak chungom balitir ngas ni buli sa mentor takir sa chunga nangone lalai
sendiri saranga kandina rasya kanira nama kembek but they are or they were mentors to us when we look back nagereda ngodo na kabina kata kabong gas ni bulika totoko bakot nakapakalibsar na namunro wasya maya iya ana ni berni na lanti be Watesoni na nabuku ni nomu na the merch but kina nomu mediation o ana na nomu lako na ICC but kena kani Court of Arbitration may Switzerland. Roni ba madal taka mayele yolo iduru tu badabe na roni sok lebu.
Iyo wer kede kima mi apply kede mai burbur tozoko. Wer na gendo dinitaka o de. Ratalangani zaka na interview rutu bandi ke betalanga na be matangali zaka o zaka boi. Veia o elevo na causa cava o private sector ve que tomando aí subanco e biti que lá o Watesoni o é presidente de Young Entrepreneurs Committee Association Council sorry o eu chico na Fiji Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Industry o tu matanga na tampani do bem beitaki matenitu o cheu sale Defense Council o le zaka wabo ki na Pacifica na bem matanga le zaka isso so na kakedea over time rabandi keva zaka na interview o cheu sange select o eu kinda vala mandanga ni sember mundo maybe ti na Pacifica o ro pero andi tek na Pacifica o ro laksaro o ro turang bakamero investigate se meronding ta ki mento na special tribunal e do talana maram ko kiro tak liu questa tak chingway na matbeleway ki buruburo questa li deputy prosecutor o koya non retrain na talitu na liu io e competitive talanga na tuikia eu sa chingo yao na non ra eu chico na defense committee batake na membership committee era defense committee au kima mi kede na defense council li buruburo so o eu dinta que na mbaki saoti e kima mi zakta chama na elections o kima mi kede kima mi admitaki e na matebele wa ni ke buruburo kima mi join tak na association kima mi claro na elections e will vote italiano o ge dur italiano kia io so dur na mo dur na non do be ding kia azaka na september saoti so ngwana karoni no gutam so no go admita que eu na 2020 ai sa rota lembaki no get mita que eu na 2020 admita que eu na bulo mati se ebrelli o chia unge kila eso era madala oi sinto dono beka mo chipikir kuni lenga taka ngo mai bana sota na bonua esi mai viti mai sota na no mai Asia mai Europe o chia unge baka sama se no eu dono mo chipikir o chia nge zaka na bem ding O c'è un zuru sarà na vending na September na batchinga na 2020. Erge kinda bala ke deu sange through na rona committee. So duri na rona committee na defense ke na membership. Au duru rua gay au sang madani kila ni bawarani se na profile ba lagi eu gay sang ni bitani da no profile gay sa va continua vending sa que vai me kila me compete you have to vote. So que me sangue durilo mo sangue ba ko no vitamba. Eu gay bitartara biker to na secretary di ba ko to secretary so na kuni lang ta o kila be ker sa ba ko hira. Se jo kango ba ibiti kila be be tu mai. Ringi kita lah ni tu besip eu gay duren na committee corona committee na mbaksaot eu gay durta na vending ni be ambaki eu durro rotali na committee go. So we are very active that chuna pe matagali training ko konga na ya yo na court of arbitration for sport do tantala na arbitration na kani pando za kana olympic so do set up na court systemic ya. So ibu nari da chico do levo na kisi era bola ni be bula ngai lakchume na kisi ni sport na iyo. So we patangali kake dea.
Sandi ni no mudur ti ko mea e bidene mbaki mo lewe na ti.
Forever.
Sandi.
Terus rende sai tak iyo.
Isso que toca dino.
Iyo. O changi e dotari na zaka mai bit via na zaka na Pacifica ba lawa. Ibu sa zaka ko bat kira kuera kila kue na no zaka ko ira sa international saranga international criminals for defend kira ke na presidente e vira prime minister kila kue be matangali vara zaka bat irtala defend takana na victims. Kue zaka vira na vai Pena lamba na kita, iyo, bem tangali kai da kabir se na kuzu. So ngo na vai da que kale le busar mai bana kanda da rida tungo i viti se rida wabu tu na Pacifica.
Sandin, sarambili sa tarasra na burbur tudo ko
Iyo, so iyo na katalangan na ni mami do bosse, kita do bosse no committee. So mundo alam tak kan kaloko na yan ramai na rona kaloko sena tulok kaloko na mata kalelai yo do be barta kan ni kila bale tangan ni chico ibitis ke bal orani mokuni ta ka na bose una laksa chika tale so no do be mode tu yani o sala lak nga mo ona ngono coffee nga o sa dambi sarba na bose le bango so io vi bula ki mendo bose e da chika na training
Santina isa sabi ba kung gitin
So join eu na ICC Bar Association, where painting di kinambo, but aqui na Court of Arbitration eu sale join na Women in Sports Law, where actually foi Geneva e Switzerland. So que mai burubur todo que vamos a join aqui.
Sa totoo pa koti. May baka namuto ko na maya ni si Bernindo ay napasibik ay durani lom. Balatan baka na da ba siya ang baka niya kuni may nakere-kere na was pasifika si asyang bet nga niya ando ending itaki may bakateki kemuni ana na no muni wengarabi rambili
Amino irango sar dende tu se perna nindo e via apply kina se me kaya ni kila talang o kende viti na pasifika rana makin sama tau ngai da sudu ngai viti da vaka viti da bangar vale da ritaya sa kwesara ngaya que porque ainda Tokyo Australia ainda Tokyo América a coisa de mandar ganhar da sa da ngau chanda vivo que tá de tipo vale de lá e eu vou sarida Dr. T o que ainda na caiviti que lá que ainda me dá sakte que saranga sa levo na bima tangali professional sara da tungo e vivo no ponzoko por sa PhD graduate tungo por na environmentalist sa levo ve que ainda na cai Pacific
Sendiri na sarang ato na puli pinakaya meda kako ni ready ka da sombo sebaga
iyo o chimbo na kita mata kan ngula kui lau kan no lau padlak na dilyo ko
Watesoni da mo muray Watesoni
dana kai ko biwasia Dr. T dona num tarbi ko ya
iya may baleta na no movement kita ka Watesoni mo lakoy na mediation o talita ka na no mo
Dr. T
iyo o talita ka bali na iya
ala ko i Singapore na ngona sign kita na convention na pakita ba Watson So koe matataki viti. Wamadal takani na.
Wamadal mai Watesoni.
Convention ni UN, and the
Yeah.
convention is known as the Singapore Convention.
Mediation.
Oh, nakani mediation. Makasirani convention ni mediation. Or to arbitration or to ANA, and do you go to convention the arbitration?
Anti-trial.
But is a rather old one, eh? So they've been in the game earlier than mediation. Mediation sang it's been in the system, but to be recognized on the UN level, sang formalized back in what year was it? 2018 to 2017. Yeah. We come back to 2018. Ito sangi ortogi invite. I got an invitation from the Singapore Convention guys, and we had to represent Fiji. I was part of the Fijian contingent that represented Fiji to the signing of that convention. And Fiji, the government, as part of the Fiji Mediation Center, we made representation on behalf of our committee to the Fijian government. Merto pasitaka, merto rectify the convention go. And the Fijian government had passed the bill. Orto sangi pandonia mai parliamendi me kito matatakan for Fiji to ratify and sign the convention. Sangochia sangi takana kanongona takikinda signing convention kito sasol man ito invitation me kito lakan ito matakibitian na signing ceremony Singapore. But that was one of the highlights of my career in mediation, was that being invited to a UN signing convention, and you have representatives from all over the world. And at that level, at the diplomatic level, you had the heads of states and the ministers from all these other countries that were there to sign the UN convention in Singapore. And I was privileged, and I'm very blessed to have attended that signing ceremony in Singapore. But it was part of because we've done some development work in mediation in Fiji as part of my accreditation.
Mediation Center talaga Dr. T sa set up Tubou.
Fiji Mediation Center is set up Tubou. So I sit on that committee and that board that manages the Fiji Mediation Center. And I'm also on that panel of mediators. There's around about 40 something of us EBT. So when cases refer to my magistrates courts and high court, and the lack any media technique, Sandowako and Kisi from the magistrates and high court to the Fiji Mediation Center. The Fiji Mediation Center, and that's how I get assigned to my cases, to mediate. And those are the cases that I do my mediation on. But years before that, I had done my accreditation. But that was when I was still with the Consumer Council. Nongumboso Maramaninjia, she's the Minister for Education. She was the one that had suggested that I go and do the accreditation. So, orto asa kosentos tangan etangu, orto sangiso mangana nongu training fee sangile da kavamai sa pasita kamai. And the accreditation training, I seen my training raw, because they were apart from the Fiji contingent too. We had high court judges, magistrates, a lot of senior practitioners in law, and from various other places as well, various other professions, not only the legal profession but HR, engineering, things like that. And not everybody passed the accreditation. So from I was the youngest. Yeah, of course. I think I was the youngest from the lot that passed. I was usually the youngest in pioneering in political, but people listen.
Dona ulu taka pinaka ya, na mutuku na mea Watesoni ni lepo na punola kwa kina. You were the youngest. Na dhaba roni wasiaki ni bira ni tambangan rabarong chukmenyu pambalate so erna kaya sa ringoni sebe ana oya lewa do lepo na ngone tanto bayan on the right. I'm a woman or I'm young, or we always look at the deficit of what we don't have. Na bosa ni bebal nganga te kita ba Watesoni roni tukuna ber na ngone, bosi ber na dorobo, barong chumeni kua, na kaya. Au saru ngone singani tio na kangol. Bosa manda ber na kabini kua.
Don't be afraid. Just do it like Nike. If you know, if you understand what your purpose is, and where God's put you and where you are supposed to be firmly rooted, you are where you are supposed to be. So you have to stand there representing everybody that's gone before you and the person and the grace, and acknowledge the grace of who's put you there and who's made you. Dr. T, Dr. Naka, you're right about pointing those things out. And not only in my mediation, but Dr. T, I chair the Young Entrepreneurs Council. Go and do a council under the Fiji Commerce Employers Federation banner. This is the private sector representative of all employers in Fiji. It's the Employers Hub, known as the Employers Hub, one of the councils of the Young Entrepreneurs Council. I've got voted in again to take on the chairmanship for this year. And again, youngest, and then by that I sit as a representative on the board, on the main board. Still the youngest, again, they're at the board level. And Dr. T, another thing is, in my business, in my area of business in retail, that practice in this area. I have businesses in this area also. Generally, I will say this, there's not a lot of Itoke people that have businesses. And this is what I want to encourage our younger generation, is not to be afraid. If you have a business idea, or if you are supposed to go into formal education and you have the will and the heart and the know-how, you need to, if there's a will, there's a way. Remember, we all have a different purpose in life, and we were sent here by God to do something with it. And we have to stand and represent strongly. And of course, you're firmly rooted in where you know where you came from. I mean, I'm from Waciwaci. We're both from Lakeba. Those things are, like you were saying, Dr. T, our influences from when we were growing up. These are the little things that shape us. As much as we don't think it does. But we have, it's that conscious decision that we always make. People underestimate that. There's every corner and every facet of life. You have to make the decision. And you have to keep saying yes the right way, because that'll build you along the way. Wow. And Dr. T, so in business and also in mediation, I'm always the youngest, and mostly in business, it's usually I'm surrounded with people of other races. And in Fiji, we all know it's the Indians that head the businesses in Fiji. But I would like to, like for me, I refuse to be intimidated. I refuse to be intimidated, but that's why I want to be there and be part of mainstream councils like the Young Entrepreneurs Council of Fiji, and so we can be an example to all the other Itoke people that are out there, generally all the other younger generation that are out there of any race that want to start a business, to get up into business. And if you feel that's your direction in life, where your route is taking you, then we shouldn't be afraid of stepping out in faith and doing what it is we're supposed to be and purpose to do. And it's not hard at all. You just got to think hard. You got to work hard at it. You got to put in the hours and the energy and the time and the commitment. As with anything else in any other achievement in life, it's the same principle. You make the right decisions, you stand strong and you stand firm. Wow. And every time you make the right decision along the way, it will add to your confidence, And like you, Dr. T, you are such a confident woman as well. And so you carry yourself very well, Dr. T. That is one of the things I admire about you. Yes, I can live on Dr. T. It's about your identity and being strong and firm and not being afraid. You got to just take that leap of faith and jump right into it.
Malo Lakeba. Santa gorong-gorong totoko bakot utalita kana kau tukuna maya just do it just do it. If there's a will, there's a way. Na yalo mi chuku weekend menda kapuni da revi kenda sombu menda redo kenda na da way chuku weekend. What do we have that we can contribute? So look at the pluses. Na kaya ndoret saranga value weekend. Bosi binida tambang ngone na kay tumbuda chuku mai sa takay tungamay. Ngone se chingile mo na kau kila I'm not experienced. Those are excuses. Anna, how do you counter that with all these maybe stereotypes and things like that we have to face on a daily basis? Anna, with continuing to what Watesoni was saying, how do you challenge those expectations or what people say about us?
Oh, yeah, I think I face that every month, every week or every second week. And don't know how we want to get it. I don't. Kaya kahit ko na ito ay sengni na rani zaka, iko mo baka sama kaya na system, So nung una do tukuni weekend, redi ko tamata siyo, iksindo warongo. Tukuni anime kuwa. Sulta nga weekend na buku kaya no matua, medarani baka ngataka na tamona, medakila goy tono, se tabi yao. So talaga weekend, kila kira when we were small, na Tubou da kichukumai. Tukuni nga weekend na mendono da zaka, Kaya sini masi, kaya sini buliwai, kaya sini bul, kaya sini lawyer, mo accountants, kaya siyang mandaninto tukuna biko, iko talaga rin doon mo business. So iko talaga rani zaka ke, so iko rani no mo kaya nga nakikipay ko beza kaba. Gwe tu nga weekend, siyang iko mo le buli university, mendono mo zaka. So iko na buli tu ko lima na mbaki, tina mbaki, meling do tunga mo zaka na mo na tuzo. So kila nowadays you don't have to do that, what Watson, you reap what you sow. So if you are sowing goodness, you are sowing patience, you're sowing hard work, you're going to reap the success. And do talaga nanguna weekend, and naman na maramay, dasari talaga sa marama struggle chico se so tava so na lenga. Kaya men botu weekend sa nayalo ni buki. Se nayalo umato men da buki ira. Men da tukun da ngarisa, bata pa gona ndona pasalo besole biko se ngona organization era ni buki ko. Kaya na counseling, men da kila kitu na counseling organization, kordo buki na mental health, kordo buki madanga na business na women entrepreneurship, serto na young entrepreneurs council, se kitu na Fiji Chamber of Commerce, se lako virtu na investment Fiji, se Ministry of Trade. So nakakiden ko na nanda kila ka, at least talaga ba kila na knowledge kina information. Information is power. So to do your research, to be aware, because you are as valuable as what you know. And what you know can make a difference between making it or breaking it. So yan and for us women, I've seen women that are not kind to other women, but so you can share. There's more room for everybody. You can create room. You can create more chairs. You don't have to have only 7. You can make another 7. So system it can be set up against you. But yeah, talk to people, there's experts, there's people around that can help. It takes a village, Dr. T, just like the Lawans. You marry a Lawan, you marry the whole cow, as they say.
It takes a village to raise a child. There's always, yeah.
Kinalinga ni Beibuke. Kila baka samtak sarchi ko dara Talanoa sige baka samtak ngangong ko nung gunto wakimay nung na. Nung may nazabanandi may ngaw. At talon tako ko ibiyaw ko na talon na sen kwando ni mo na dabe na small at talon tako ko ibiyaw ni o ko abia bulingas ni buli. So to buli chico ko ituraki dan ko bulingas buli turaki but World War II ke malah may na war. Tagay lilitu ni Panoy liya o ratu sukuna. Gelang may Nata, may coach po, may resolista lingaw. Kung gay tangi, may Nata, my great-grandfather. Kung gay kirea nila ko government house, o ko may lebo sa ratu sukuna, may kirea may chico, may ranibaut ke no nobu. O siya, o geba mata chico, ang gokwe, o eday nung gumbo, nanise na geba wati binto ng pagkain. Orto na ito, kumay na tabanandi. Sabi bango natabi ko nanise class na kalebu ko na chungo na kalebu o binakata men darla ko tu bira tu sukuna na dami kiro darli tu kuna tu ge bango no gumbu o yo na bossa But for even my great grandfather, me allow taki no grandmother, me takawaya, no gumbu, no gunau. Saronggi la, porque vamos a la tako no gunau, na non ro la ni government house, non ro ngasi na, non ro la le rivi ratu sukuna, piki aku erna turang ratu riwautu. Me la ni sangi tarinko ratu sukuna, tapi kubina kata. Sangi bango kau kier eu be vauti no bubuli. Yeah, but then I think she was 19 or 20. Sangi bango ratu sukuna, baleta na no kiere na kangor, sile me no pepa. Yeah, era pasi tu. Ibe no pasi, so sile me na pasi, sain ta kokoe. E bango baleta na no mulak me kier. Iku sana bauti no bubuli. Giso levi ko ngi ratu sukuna ngi tu no bango be no bumbu. Mo vuli va koko me anga no muvuli. Kila, ochia sangele buli o koengas ni buli, ochia le sotabino kututu, gasti buli liu, rotu batatu rotu, gasti buli membureta, gasti buli sarindalana Mercedes, kila ile boka, so lilu sarni sama marama no bumbu, kanita kandinga, so to bamuri ko tu susu mai birawe ya robundi. But ya usenga bantu ni takalibia una talanoa na non do no bumbu. Kila ngo ngasingo be baka samta ko ke de dona gone lai mitu kuna bango mula ko mula ko malik ke da hoste kira manda klachi ko boko pat na nungu tamana nungu tulie bukan nona kuna bi koya kila nona sapoti ko nona baungiti koya kila ureta langa be nungu to be tamangu nungu nona ndungare kitu mai vale kila ndungrit ko ya nta ko nusuni da kavaka cha kitu bi talanoa. So ya na kausa matau tukina ngo sa liba wati o timu do wasanga, but sharing the love and sharing the burden with the all hands Which anda gila tu bango da sota na colleagues bango era friend da bebe kani da kai Lakeba bata da yanu wata kede mai. So na kila na bebu kena yalu ni bebu kena yalu do uma tua. Chame da na takabeta da na buki bebu ke chinga da chanda na buki talenga do na sim.
Sa kantin na todo ko kantin na bakalong tatake ni da solian na ka solian na ngona ni solian na mo buku no bakasama mo bukendua na bibuke na lista leman na bibakalong tatake na rere siyang baka ni ngole may na tamata na ngole talmay wera tamata tarab rede na mumbu na nombole mele redi naturanga talay sambal rede na kena kalunga ta sandro no me bikemundo na makumbulo bakarua bakatulungo endare
le sali buni wai sarkina nung guna baleta ni buli o cha sali buni wai nung guna ge gold medalist di medical school kla na vaya kla ngosa gelak maybe ya tanto kena yang tua kena do velo mani kena do yang do bebu oro na kai kim bami nung tu nung tua o kenda keda ngai
sa dina sar meti ko nel velo mani kena bi kawitake sa totokan din re le usar ngangora baka binibina ka tukuman na namro maybe o say to na turang marama biokan na yon totoko Lakeba na sinubina ka ni kuan ile mo na ka me bulida na nomunro Talanoa na nomro tumbu ta ke mai na nomro susu dare ni siang ni na kai pakaiendre bi kemunra didn't know Watesoni. Oh, I'm the youngest in this room, but you're still sitting at the table helping make those difficult decisions, and you still sat with those older men or women, and you made it. Or Anna.
Owning the space, Dr. T, owning the space, because an opportunity, you don't own it. But not only owning it, mokuta talamay sota la tamata. Merani baka nga talangan na space.
That's my responsibility. That's part of the reason why I wanted to come on here tonight, Dr. T, is to encourage all the other lands and all the other Itoke people that are listening in to don't be afraid. Go and start your own businesses. There's support systems and networks like the Young Entrepreneurs Council, the Rani Journey and Kikina. And I'm currently there, so I'd like to support and see all other more entrepreneurial Itoke people come out and join the mainstream line of business. Just to come, that's my responsibility because I have a platform, I have to share it with others and make sure that it's easier for others to come on board and to be the example to them as well. just to show them also that and that's part of my responsibility in coming on your show tonight, Dr. T. So I'm very grateful for you, for Dr. T, for allowing me the platform to come and share my journey so that it can inspire others as well.
Dr. T, we don't know how much time we have, but we about how much time we have because we have our getting dengan kailau.
Iya.
Wala ko tua.
Gol saranga. O binakat menro se men menro tua. O tsentel nga mengeti kun talanga men no ngande wadi an rogai wase batamay na no menro Talanoa. Teka mo mata ana.
Ngayon wala ko na 7-day cruise ko na Sarbanua. O che ula ko saroya uli si klamateni mo na mo la ko abu kitila o sala ko nga ila kempa o buka ngaya ni Tubou o abu kitila kempa tau zoko auxílio o abu que o che uli stele mai suba. Sempre vando mo klanda leri di buru-buru tunda sen matanga ni wa abu kita mana nonta kor matanga o kenda nonta Banua nonta yan. So kita ula ko na Captain Cook Cruises kita au la ko sari Kambara au la ko sari Totoya tali sa mulai kata lagu nova Lakeba o chia o rei mona na tali weekend sa ngu menda lako mai su pambaleta na guli na watangin ni bula leu tala na tanda mai da kai even ikla na main city se ndala ko pertania yo na kauri da tala ngai kia so weekend da sala ko mai kenda sa ngule da na nonda vale nonda chiku mai na koro. So klame nda wako borro senda fix taka sona kai vale se menda kilava menda vator tak na bule kia sona building sena meeting house aurita menda sona nursing station sen menda na city sena klame buke nasi se buke buniwai. So yang anak kau beva ungeti kianta sona hona kianta sa lako mai na city senda lako I subat lo tokal na buno lebuzake kianta na vitar tarchuna ki nonda matuvale sona manda nguleta mita tarongira bada nonda tuvale bada na kabo bada na fuloa bada na rumo isinjona leak sona kanda binakata bada na kakana sena nonda nursing station sena kornibuli bada mita upgrade taka so mandana koribuli senga tuna kena luba sena na lala nga vaya mita be buke nga dina nga ni tabi ni matini tu mengara bikenda na mata Banua o kenda mandanga ta sarawati kenda tu etun bo tar mandangan ke so kana karangan ria nga kau be va ungiti kenda na kana yalo ni be buke kena yalo ni Loloma medan do waka samta kalenga ai
Sa totoko bako utirede na no mungande
au kaya nongu lagu ki au sakita ki lau sarang au maro sarang tinta sarang au laki
partesi partesi totoko bako terdonele sarang kana kana ora do sia macam menung program anggo saken na ngone ni ko menta baka ungetira les tal kina kor seda ngande
binaka Wanda na matasa wanda se berreda tu na bula vaya chandale nunu na kaka nanda kania wele na unga bule ule rida tikia na tano nungla koi Kambara na tano na lali yo sa lebu nga nangone sa rala kede chukme su wae sa lele ra chukme na por
sa kantina sa that rural urban drift na nanda sa toso mai so it's kaya sa wadi dapat na muli Talanoa Watesoni
oh sini lak mati kaya na na lake cruise sorry Bervavencio Island. But I mean, Lakeba is a beautiful island. What is oh my when we were little, school. Almost every Christmas, kita on the water. So the boys will go by boat because you have to take building items and everything on the cargo, and the girls go by plane. So though unfair to me, yeah. But Sando Kenakanga, when we come back, then we can come back by plane. So it's been an ongoing thing. I haven't been usually part of the village functions. I mean, I don't attend as much as I can, but I help out monetary wise, and we have the functions at home and all of those things, giving back to the village. Yeah, I do my little pitch in that as in giving back to my village as well. So, but I'm part of the fundraising committee and all of that. That gives back to the village. But I mean, for everyone that's listening in, I mean, if you've got to acknowledge your roots and and give back to where it is you came from. That's part of your identity, yeah? And it's part of what strengthens of who you are. So when you can stand in a room, you don't stand alone. You stand there representing the 10,000 people that formed part of you, you know, that were part of your journey before you even came and you were born into this earth. So it's important, just strengthening that, strengthen your ties back to your to where you originated from on this planet Earth. But yeah, Dr. T, Tubou na kasarangan tukun manguri ana, giving back to where you came from, yeah? And the little things and the needs, acknowledging the needs of our schools and our infirmaries and our dispensaries and hospitals and areas of public service back in Laos. And it's always a be aware. And my business also has donated a lot of hand sanitizers, chemicals, Lakeba Hospital, Tubou.
So tu lebih kau itu tu ya, misalnya donate itu tu ya talaga. So he'll do it.
Iyo,
malo.
Mereka gusto, mereka
terang, mereka boli. Oi, ano merlakan rataran mi aya kwartu ke mustos.
Sedira saranga totoka dari bonggeti. Pata bawon rongol telang penulim.
Na next trip i Dr. T.
Next trip kira belakang penulim.
Kira laku i penulim, bukan kakiro mamal tak trip kira na laku i Kia, Rambi.
Kia, Rambi.
Rambi, Tabeuni, Sabu. Iyo, laku tali na makungai. Kona nito trip ya kitu laku i makungai.
Iyo, talo takman dalam mula laku i makungai. Talo takman damai.
Isa, mako kinda dalam ta. Yo makungai kena do wili katungai na buno kila na leprosy colony. Kasi ngani kila to what does leprosy colony mean? Until you go to na colony ya ira tu sartungan onda tu manda na pale bebe Loloma ya. Na buno ni alo chukuna na pale mbula. Nakanga sa survive tungo na sa research station tungo Puerto Sagita kabu chukuna research station ni clam ni daban wasua. Wasua lele. Yo nag-ibita tayo sa nekta ng social media. But iyo, gitarong indo ikya, balik na tabaraba balibibis chukineki. Sangito ni mebango siya, batang ko kwento ben bro from the island. Because at that time, leprosy had no cure. Right, so Makungay Island, uira kaya kami na Pasifika. Kweto bira na leprosy ba?
Buka-buka.
So kwarto vir na buka-buka. Talaga may Australia, may New Zealand. Tuiketei Bolabiu kya. So nitulak nito kya about 4,000 graves inside there. Okay, rong talong ani so may Pertania, may Europe, may bangara na Canada, right? But they found them on another island. Iyo. So there's a grave site there. There's now a research station. Ang kita, kailan may bango isa, ken si berso tao si berbanto ni si tabindo ko ito kuno yung may motoriki. Kailan turang siya marami ni motoriki. Makungay. Ang si berbanto ni iyo.
Iyo to sa chiko bimbe karto na may makungay.
O yo ronga nga that as ba madalting nga may bikim mami kon na government research station kon may guide. Apa madalting nga may bikim mami that after the 1960s or 70s sangi because the injections came kwa the medicine sangi la kumay. Yo to tinita mate pano buko ronga ni mate PJ Tumi 2018. Ito ko ba madalo mo lito kay talengay. So reda mandanga na nonra proyecta pena claro do sala video kimai tinga nonra sto tinga nonra balimbula sa ko saranga ya dokta tina bonoya o tu sartunga kia wacha the nearest is lebuka 2 hours 1.5 hours or 2 hours by 5 by nonra stoira iyo and then on the other side is the village so the iyo na nonra bulubul kina kake that goes all the way to the top of the hill. Aquela I stood there, the steps, the hospital was from 1911. Okay, durtu na kabaka mo baka sampat to hisai. All the people that entered this island, knowing that they could never leave, baleta ni namati na buku goto birtu isang tumantangan na waini mati na bukirki. So we could all have relatives there, but we don't know. Na we kanta balete bakai wakai bunitaki,
Sa. Totoo ka saranga rin. Dara kaya o buli naman na mo ba sengo ana na sona nanda history may biti baka tagi makungai o kaya manda merba ungeti na ngone buli merangande as part of the educational tour si field trip merli rave totok
Kailangan na ba nung hula ko ikiakala nga Dr. T, hindi na nga ni Tararaw ni Dasuryani, baka usa kita kibiti, nanono ofataki makungai, vera keve na tu na Pasifika Tauvok, ki Australia New Zealand, mera meiti kundo na konua. Beto buka tu, so nonda diplomatic ties, eba may bahaya, may no na saray. Iyo. So, kila naman na may Australia New Zealand, ira meiti ko makungai. Yo na vaso era tinha na vaso para farming na clam farms tu tal sungai que estava tinha uma research station but que tu sinila reida na muna talanga ilio it was a sheep farm place in Makongai at that time so I never got to see sa agriculture
Totoo din na reida baka na moto ko na maya Fiji's diplomatic ties dari ni reida Kioa and Dolabera may Tuvalu, Redi Rambi, and Dolabera na Ocean Islanders, may Waciwaci, o bit sa Rayaw, totok,
Okay, anda sini kilatu na nando tu lomanir, na una pala na hiu, sa nabika, na yalo ni bika witaki, na yalo ni bibuki, kina yalo ni bilomani. Satu tungama, weekend, chiko na tanda.
Tina sarana.
That's why they always say, the Fijian smile,
Dina.
Fiji, where happiness finds you.
Kadina. Siya ni badal ka. Ren, dora ka binakang gobi kim ni nabarong ti kumay. Dora bibang kiti libo darong da ni kuwa me libo weekend dan do libo da sangol nga kipapalanye. Bada ba menda ngande manangay na nonda partisimo da nga bikito mi kantabu. Me keto listali kantabu, me keto wanda wang keme misar sarwabo kene mi anu ken. Go bikim do may law, do sa wanda wabo kene lisar do lak sari totoya, do lak sari kambara, nabi banua da buti to may law, do salim butu kasar. Don tanya nabi pa kong geti lebu. Wer na barong chiko mai weekend na chiko papalangi, nenda ngole ni biti, do lebu nangon dan do leda ba dir tu ngai Sheraton, say benabonong gor may nande, ngonong ngonai, wata sarangawanga kanta sarap ako tolkin ako. Sa mga tabaan?
Ibanomba lang talaga. Wala ko ibanomba lang. Uli reading gilang-gila. Bay of Islands.
Wow!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ito ko na nga sa sakit-sakit law nga.
Wow! Reza. Man, look at that.
Reza. Kailangan, just beautiful mushroom islands. Kailangan, turquoise. Pernah tambah bongo.
Iya, bama dal tak naman ay tambah chicken da kumun raw.
Pero mapasama ay tambah.
Yeah, kami.
Tani nga ako noong balago, gilang-gila.
Gor na barag maybe.
May be, sorry?
Nambarabing ko, barag maybe an.
May kambara.
Reza.
Yeah.
Aw ba nabangon? Sida may tunggori Hawaii, Dr. T, tu sa ilaw.
Kandi na to ko saranga. Sa totoo ka na kinarere ni Nuku. Na binyuniw. We.
Tani kila ento tani nga. Porque kila na dali nunu di na kanda rida. Na se bandom dani rida ni nunu ya sawa. Não dá algo que tu tani Untouched Paradise.
Untouched Paradise. Totoo ba ko? Totoo ka. Kanjin. Right? Sa lilim sarang na wekan na law resem chuk mengo. Bikim ni kana sem chuk law. Polias bola kulani bola. Kulani ni oli sumengo ko man din lako na yaw kanda man kito toya. Mulai red na ng partes. Totoo ba ko tia? Watesoni. Yang bakipita man sa dula ko wali-wali. Ando lako bali na koro ni sangon. Kono mo tukul chumaya?
Class 2, class 3, class 4 almost every Christmas. We sent to my grandmother and my grandfather. My grandfather was very entrepreneurial. So he had a shop when we were little. So kita nalinggar rami sto to na nungona kita susun ngono to pekina. Nungona kita ndolo ngande chicken na koro. and he had a copper farm as well. He had a copper shed that he used to harvest all this coconut, and copper used to be big at the time as well. Right? So he was very entrepreneurial like that. My grandmother was very, she was also in the village. We used to visit her a lot. That was primary school and high school, Talanoa. My grandfather passed away in around 2000. I went over for his funeral. My Nungupu just passed away last year. But unfortunately, it was COVID. Kito seen around Lakeba. They had the restrictions. And she was around 90 years old. Sange Matikinungupu, that was just last year. So she really did outlive my grandfather for so many years. But she was a very strong woman. The women in my family are very, very, very strong. Yeah? Maternal side of my grandmother's side from Tarapua, a very, very strong woman, very strong and very vocal woman. Yeah? So a lot of that influence has come upon all of us as well. But I will try, and I want to go this year. So I'm just trying to get the business back running smoothly. And then if I can get a holiday or something, Lakeba. But I've been a lot of times to Lakeba. Right from when we were little, my father made it sure that we would go to the village and know our roots. And I've had some of my fondest memories growing up in the village. Catching crabs and really siwa. We go up to the farm, we go and get the cassava, the pineapple, then you go to the ocean. It's very, it's the life. It's communal living, and you live off the earth, the planet, the water, the oceans, and everything is just there. Just, it's such an amazing life.
Totoo ba ko ti naganito ko sa muli sa daleta mo na kinabatang ng sa Daka, and now you're going back home to where everything was based from nung rolista Lakeba, and you get to appreciate your roots.
Yeah, that's true. You get to appreciate and you get to strengthen it, and then again it strengthens you as a person and your identity. So you know the firm ground that you stand on.
Where you came from, where you started from. And your long line of family, your genealogy. Rakaulo to my Tubou,
the history.
The history.
Well, Dr. T is also we're the next generation. Part of the reason I have to go back to the village this year is we have to repair our home. We need to
the family home.
Our family home. So that's passed on to this generation now. But my dad's brothers too are doing it. But I have to go and do my input as well. So we have to give back to our family home that we always went back to when we went on holidays. Sendur talang that was built by my grandfather, my great grand uncle, and it's it's been renovated a few times, but the stilts that it was built on is still the original stilts from when it was before. So very strong, firm, solid foundation.
Wadi for you.
Wadi dia na saranga wakadua reta go lele saranga wa bulu ci ko ra ko bi nakatiko totoko ba ko tinomni le tombongari ke bal dalingo bi nakati tombongari ci ko bi kemni Watesoni
ngora tombongari wala sla when they come up for when it's full moon, or they're going to the ocean to take a dip. That's the bad times all you do is just put it in, you just throw them all into the sinarangan ng tang saset. Laga ni Valerie like to alibabuli naman na mix homebrew. Kilala ka ba? Ang dali lasa to manakor.
Sa totoo ko makawatire. Pwede. Rong pinakadibital nong ko. Sabi ba kung getid din?
Luluto may sarang kaisin doon bendo may.
Nakabali, sinasabi nga ni may naman yung tubi Talanoa. Sa'yo daw sa may wala Talanoa, gurong Talanoa, bigyan mo raw. O sa siguro ko na.
Talanoa, nalako ito nga ba?
Kunilang, iyo. Sa totoo ko makotse. Kami din, ni Tarongoda, ni Beo Matangaw. I'm very humbled to hear stories from both of you and so many of our listeners. At kung no ramarotaka. Niliwi kimami, we see both of you as lawyers and business people, businessmen, businesswomen, but in the second rongo na namun ro Talanoa as numro sa tumbo da ke mai ke na kai ba ungit ke mundo numro sa sanga, and that's what this platform is for, to share your story. Your voice matters, your voice counts on this platform. Babi ni binak sarbali bikam do yen sibaranga ni may daba solito ngono ngauna kay tikum ba kay sonro be babi ni binak kina na linga ni bay susu kay na linga ni bengarabi ke munraw na numro tumbo da kamay numro huli numro da kadaka me do meni kwa sa kena ngonongo nak
Yung kita ng lapis.
Itu betul berapa?
Bisa. Quero saber, bate um codinho na lista, em balabuzake, da tupi, ou só na manisama raiz ngayani beyang.
Dan.
Mas nata kana kalau na nonan do Loloma na nonan do garu ni au mandangana no levo na kada do bala ka tu na do fai ngani kina ke aseng mandangani do klame provide ta kana kai provide ta tu ke sinia tu na singa tua so babi na ta kana kalau ke na nonan Loloma ke na nonan do baungitia una no do fasanga na kaki do da cabo o cheu babi na ta ki ro talangana orto no grandparents orto sa class arto lengayani sarto laktaleani na non tondo be masulaki veia o nongu nau nongu tuturo ndo masulaki o tunga na visi nongu do mo tuma do sondoro tu na nganga no ro masu na non tondo be wakalonga te kito berkito ndo vuli so ia be babi na te kirau eu talanga o nongu tumbu o nongu na nongu tue na non rondo Vaungetia o sanona vossa cocoa e vossa cocoa a vossa vida stranga mendonga nitia unga bakaiau que na do kilanga sanona na vossa wiwi que na vossa nganga do to weekend mendo match taka na kaida do vakawa so we va pena te kironga que na non rondo vi masulaki na non rondo vi kowitaki but kirto na tavingu kila me being their sister is very different, because glad to always stand out. So when I do things, glad people ask them or it affects them. But siya talaga watingu, naturang may kandabo, may tabuki. Iyo, nanondo lomaniaw, nanondo sapote kyo, nanondo baungityo, nakakide nga ondo veda kabo, renda kabo, O kilani, live na tamaterndo, Waciwaci sono ngone sindorong dir sarayaliani yo ya o marau serangani ding ta kana kalobio kana turanga ya lo binaka au sini sole maka chungo o chungaya
maka na ko murkata mo ya takuti
tapi kan saya sudah di bawah sebab nak kawan kawan ko karena ya kecil kita nunggu friends kita nunggu colleagues live I got too many friends that are like family nei binaka nei jina na nunggu bitar taramay mikiro may Talanoa keki tokati plus all my relatives in Tubou Lakeba lawer may arubun dir to may lebu ka may opalaw all my uncles and all my aunties wele kiro na chiki kita do Talanoa tokati sa min selem nga be Watesoni
Watesoni?
No, but still, just cut it short. Everything Hannah just said is usually just my usual support group. From my parents, to my siblings, to my first cousins, to my grandparents. And to those that went before us, those that prayed for us, generation-wise, above all the generations that stood before us, that's paved the way for us to be able to stand here and speak to you today and be the platform for others to look at and to be made an example of. So it's that lineage and that history that we pay homage to and that we acknowledge and that we are certainly grateful for, because we don't stand here.
You don't take it lightly, because we know we're standing on good shoulders.
We never take that for granted, and I hope I never will take that for granted. And it's an honor to be here on your show, Dr. T. So thank you very much for having us. I'd like to thank you also, because it's part of our responsibility to reach out.
Thank you for reaching out and encouraging us, because we were going to be coming.
I was just about to back off, but when we had the discussion on Monday, I was no, because you are where you are supposed to be, Dr. T.
Hindi na saranga, hindi na todo. Giba talaga na nung Talanoa, rong binakandina, viva kong geti, hindi na ni sonongon na nakay. Oh, do I really have a story to share? Of course you do. Sangay tu na be platform bango menta pakaya nataka nira ninda Tubou levale ni ngono chungo ni Covindi daro ninda biwa seki nanda sematiru tu na biwa kanira sematu ena besi burbura besi biti ena lewer nangai kelekem rosar kina bakati tombu erna reda mekina isa na bisi ni singo ni Watesoni ni kako ni ngola da ni ngola beno na Facebook page the merch dono ya Watesoni iya agano kay biwa yan na nung kutaga ni biwa na Facebook o Watesoni o klasa ambiti tang baka mojina nakabakalebu so tal nga bikem ni saga merong wada nanto muy ana ni kwa na non may waseti ko na non sa sanga kay nabuli ni tambana ni lawa siyang wala nga ninto nga natikin na lilay rambe lebu tali sa libing garabi saranga ko na bida na songo na buru to do kay sabi kem ro na biokani Watesoni batiki ana binaka nakabakaleb sar na nomro siya mo tumen nakabina ni kwa singa baka rombo kan ko don beka mon rosaran gitu cukum beka senro lengun yang kono cukum beka don pono yan ro jikita ka mon ro ngale mai ena no koy bata sa lolom sertin vale bikim raw banu ni binaka nom ro bingarab na lom nembakin go kedo talangon memur ro velis tal mai mon ro Talanoa patu wadi patu Tubou patu kay ngole tal mai
ay sarang Lakeba Dr. T.
Sardo no kita salolom sertin vale bikim raw
Isa benang sarwa lebu Dr. T. Loloma sarani biko di Hawaii. Thank you very much for having me.
Sabi nako nakabalev nakaana nakawatson rokolongat chik
Mali Dr. T. Mali toka.
naka madamanda
Monikede.
naka sa totoko makauti na Talanoa wat kerono nando bulani o Watesoni Nata Junior patake ana Tuiketei-Bolabiu da marutak saron rasulito non rongo na ni kuwa merong wale mai rumi Talanoa tu sarong binakati non ro Talanoa na lebu nene to Talanoa ni kuwa sabi ang wile da nangon don bikato dengukin sa kami dan dina ni darong wada na punoro Lakeba na non ro buli na biba ka ungeti berto na non ro ngase na bosa biba ka longa tataki na loma ni vali na masu na beka ke dala lebaya ron ro mai na matu vale ron ro mai na tampo tamat tam sakayan na beka binaka datakaba kena non da do belomani baka bita mani baka bitinani baka bitadini na lomni non da bubala sababi di binaksaran vale bikem ni todok sara binaka baka lebu na non muni siya mamay na non da ngande sar chiko Lakeba na bogi binaka di kuana kor totoko wadi kena koro turanga o Tubou may Lakeba sabak mo din bikem ni na bunata pangani siya machikumikin na katali ng balawan ni loto o klani sa dua nakaloko na matakalilay mi Amerika bikim do na siya machikumitay na ela tinawang gani babalani bikim do na siya machikumi Sierra Leone sa dina Afrika Amerika Marshall Islands Australia New Zealand ni siya machikumi ni kuwa sa baka binaka bikim ni nanom ni siya mamay ni mataka wala nakaloka na siya machikumikin na Talanoa kay same one watalevo and nangandi chukina ki mabana may ibonong balavo sababi ni binaka ni bikim ni nagay sota na siya ni mataka o sa Loloma tango makitiko ng bula ni bako kuatiko sota ni mataka malo bakalev sara kinasana bakuturang olaw ni mo demanda gotal na no mulindo ni garabi o tarisi bunindilo ni sama demanda